Previously, on Storytelling with Baba Agba, Jimi Solanke, we are on set today in Ipara Remo. If you're watching this show, you're obviously old enough to know that storytelling is one of those cultural ways by which knowledge transfer happens.
I come from a compound they call Iledu. It's a compound where majority of the show, that compound, majority of the families there came with the show prefixes
yes,
to their names. My father won my church choir attendance because I was a singer at the Holy Trinity Church, Ebutero.
Wow. That means you must know how to sing a lot of Yoruba hymns.
Yoruba and English.
Yes.
Nearer, my God, to thee. Nearer to thee.
What's your favorite Yoruba hymn, sir?
My favorite Yoruba hymn. Ìgbàgbọ́ mi wọ̀ ìwọ ọ̀dọ́ àgùntàn. Even while I was in school, I was already composing songs. I was in Odogbolu when I composed some songs that Roy Chicago and his Afolabi downbeats recorded. I was enjoying it, but my parents didn't like it. All that went on until I left secondary school, and my daddy says, no, you're not going to be an Omolilo at all. He contacted my uncle, organized my being employed at the then Caxton Press as a assistant press engineer. My interest in going out at night to sing overtook my interest in going to Caxton Press. So I stopped going to work. Eventually, my uncle sent me out of his boys' quarters.
Wow. And
that gave me the freedom that I was waiting for all the time. 61, 62. That in my just moving around, I ran into somebody who told me about Mbari Club. And in the Mbari Club, they used to hold a lot of theatrical presentations. They even invite groups like Ogumola to come and perform there. That's where theater started its appeal on me. I got so interested that I became one of the finest actors ever.
Wow.
In that team.
So, I mean, this has been very, very rich, and I see the multi-talent, multi-skill, because not only were you, I mean, the creative art is wide, but you've cut across all: music, theater, dance. So, how I'm going to come into, where did your love for jazz music, where did it come from?
Jazz. That's a long time ago, because I was member of the Nigerian Jazz Club. By then, they've all died now. Ashekun, Ahuha Baba, Atalade, Baba, the saxophonist. Naim was all of them. I wasn't that there. And when I was in Ibadan, before I even got to Lagos, late Chris Ajilo, at the Gongon Night Club, he had all the music score sheets. And when he plays Stardust, I would say, I want to sing that song. He will give me the score sheet. That's how I studied majority of the jazz. Bye bye, take my bye bye blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet, love is she. Bye bye, bye bye, blackbird. No one here can love and understand me. Oh, what I love stories. I love to sing. All these songs I sang because I studied them. They gave me the original score sheets.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to Lagos, I was ready at every of the jazz clubs gathering. When they start, I just say, can I sing?
Sing, yeah.
Yeah. About Bex, I said, okay. And I take the microphone and, hey, that's good, Jimmy, that's good.
So did you go for any voice training for music?
No.
So is it natural? Is it a gift?
It's a gift. It's a gift. And I thank God for it. Because it's still there now.
Some of your kids have it. Or have developed interest. If they didn't have it as a natural gift, have developed interest in it.
Truly, I have a daughter that even read to the point of a doctorate in theater arts. Kehinde. The Taiwo has a voice like mine. When you hear him open his mouth, you will think it's me.
But did he develop his own like you?
He's doing different things with it.
Okay.
Yes. One is in England now, married in England, Shayo. That one, was even telling everybody that I learned everything from my father. Good voice, good character representation and all that. And I have the baby of the house, a graduate of dramatic arts, who is into films and editing and script writing.
Yeah.
In fact, one of his movies just won an award.
One of our
Something
movies?
of his movies.
Okay.
One of Shola's movies just won an award. About a boy or something is the title of that. About a boy or something.
Okay.
The title has something boy in it.
Yeah, in it. Okay.
Yes. So they are trying in their own way.
Oh, wow. Wow. So how did you now settle into storytelling? That obviously made us to at least have our first contact with you.
Okay.
Even though it was through the TV screen.
Okay. I got used to listening to stories from when I was a child on our holidays to this town, Ipara. Because all of us of my age group in those days, they would have laid mats all over our compound and people would just lie down, some sitting. If you fall asleep, your mommy will come and take you.
So the mats are age group by age group?
No, just everybody just sitting.
Okay.
Then our uncles will, one after the other, tell different kinds of stories. And we will clap and chorus, alujonjon, ijon, alubere. Since then, I got interested in listening to stories and in telling stories. On radio in Ibadan, some of their producers discovered that I could tell stories. So they started inviting me to do some storytelling skits. Then the television in Ibadan, at each of these 7-up parties, children's parties, I would tell stories, sing some school songs, sing some folk songs.
Now, were these stories again that you had heard, you were repeating, or were these stories also you had began to form from your literary experiences,
yes,
dramas, acting?
Yes, yeah. Some of them were those I created.
Yeah.
Some of them were the same folklores.
So this is our series on storytelling. And you know one thing about storytelling? Don't ever break the storyteller. Let's take a short break and we'll be back right after the break. Greetings, guys. Well, we're back from the short break we just took. If you're just joining us, you are into exciting episode on storytelling with no other person but Baba Agba, Jimi Solanke. If you have missed any part of it, you really want to go catch it up again. But don't forget to join and continue this conversation. Our hashtag is the hashtag Never an Afterthought across all our social media channels. Twitter at NAA_book, Facebook and Instagram at NA Afterthought. And our email is podcast@neveranafterthought.com. And indeed, we can read your comments on the comment section of the platform wherein you're listening or watching me.
And when I got to America, that's when I knew how important storytelling was.
Please tell us.
I got to America. I ran away from New York because it was very cold. Some of my friends who I knew before in Ife, some of them stayed in my house and all that. I called them from New York. They said, look, it's a sunny day here. I said, what? It's a sunny day here. We had light rain in the morning, but the sun is shining. I said, I just told the guy I was staying with in New York that, look, how can one get to
Los Angeles?
How can one get to Los Angeles? And he said, take a Greyhound, so and so days.
That would be like 5 days.
But you can fly. Yes, I will fly now. I have money to fly. How much is it? Yes, I'm flying. Packed my bag, called them that I'm coming. And they said, yes, you're welcome. Been to the airport. Bang!
So the city of Los Angeles.
As I was landing, look at the jacket I was wearing. Just flung somewhere. And they took me to the house I would be staying. And when I got to the house, I called somebody again and said, where are you talking from? I'm talking from so and so and in LA. Where in LA? Yes, LA, Los Angeles. Look, don't say it. I'm adding you to a program on Saturday. I know you'll break a leg. No. I'm telling them right now, you are in our program on Saturday. So he came and said, yes, on Saturday, Black African, Kinikon, just come and do one or two things. You just tell us a story or some of your folk songs and all that. Is your guitar here? I said, yes. So
with guitar now, is it the same guitar of the Storyland guitar?
No.
Okay, that's
these are another
the previous one. Okay.
These are another one in LA. So, came Saturday, the place was packed full. And they announced Jimi Solanke just came from Nigeria, Africa, the storyteller, the singer, the Kinikan. So when I got there, and I just said, okay, just say, Puma, Kio, Giso, Puma, no do Hario, no mado Hario, Ozuguzugo, Puma. You know who was singing? It was the tortoise. It was the tortoise. The tortoise was lazy and went to the market, built himself a very, 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 very frightening costume, only to come on market days to come and steal market wares from the market. And, you know, they even sent strong people. The costume was too bad, and they ran away. They even sent the soldier, and they came, Ozuguzugo, and Ozuguzugo simply means, oh, terrible, terrible, terrible character is coming. And when it comes out, everybody will run. Then one man said, I will do it. He just went because the Godomigodo, the Ogisos, they had a lot of rubber. He built an effigy of human being man, in fact, of rubber, and placed it there. So the next market they went, the tortoise came out, Ozuguzugu, Eke Ogiso, Nado Ario, Namado Ozuguzugu. When everybody ran away as he appeared, he came out as usual to come and steal. Then he saw the effigy. If you don't leave this place now, I will kick you. He kicked the effigy and his leg got stuck. He slapped the effigy, his hand got stuck. Until he was stuck on the effigy until the next morning when everybody came and said, oh, Ozuguzugu is you, Ozuguzugu. So, that's how I started.
Now, that's just one of the stories that has come from your experience. Because I can see the Bini beats coming into the song.
Yes, it was a Bini story.
Yeah.
But they love saying Puma, Puma, Puma. I love that Puma story. Puma, Puma. And so, that's how I started. I just got my group, African Review. And you know, they even gave me, the California Art Council gave me grants. We got African Review on the road. Los Angeles School District gave us contracts to visit schools, 1 hour programs, African interaction with the students, secondary schools, elementary schools, you know. So that's how I trained to be a composite storyteller.
Wow.
So when I came back, that's how I just said, let's do a show at Unilag. At the show, the Unilag camera, they came there. They were just recording. You know, they recorded materials that they could edit 2 episodes of 25 minutes. And they said, family scene. It was a children's program I did at the Unilag staff club. And they called us and they said they want to show you to come and record more. That's how they started family scene on
the Lagos television.
Lagos television.
So that's how family scene started?
Yes. That's how it started. Myself and late B.D. Wright. So, and when they were not forthcoming with it, I think another station took off Sibojo, Galaxy, Fun Space, I think, Galaxy. And when they too could not, because Steve, a very good friend though, but we can't do business. We can't do business. Then NTA too.
That's the one with Storyland.
Storyland, yes.
That lasted for a bit.
That one lasted for a bit. Until they started when I go from Ife to Lagos, they might say that some cameras have gone with the news, and they might not be coming tomorrow. They're making, money, or I don't know, taking camera out to follow news. So I got tired.
Wow.
And I sat down in Ife until AIT came. African Stories, AIT. Got to a point too that they were showing me other places in the world, apart from the agreement we had was just to show me in Nigeria.
And they were not paying any royalties.
You see, they were making money or exchanging whatever programs for that. I mean, that's too much for them, so that's why I cut them off.
Now, so what do you, it's interesting that this grew on you from your experience in LA. I mean, it was just almost like what you want to say, one stand-up show, and then some policymakers, some educators, some systems, people saw a future, put grants in it, take this to our schools, use it to build, in your case, African interaction, but I don't want to focus on it because we're Africans and this is Africa, right? Even though it's Africa to the world. But the point is they saw the art and they saw the importance of this art for the kids.
Yes.
To the point that you obviously then also lent, literally got a professional, certificate, around it. Now you came back to Nigeria and literally you championed it.
Yeah.
What happened? Is it that, how would you explain what then happened? That there is no one to put the pegs down, to see the value. I mean, you've been of both systems. Can you just tell us?
See, we love to be like other people. We hate being like ourselves. Being like ourselves, I mean, being updated, with our cultural norms and exactly where are we coming from, where are we going. We are all in the interest of dropping where we were from into jettison it into the quagmire and never for it to be found again. And then settling down in some fake borrowed garbs and proving that I am there too. I have arrived. I am like all those people now. I'm like an American boy. I'm like an American girl. See, it's happening to us. And I see it as the second rate of slavery. This time, nobody will come, shouting on you to take you as slaves. They are coming just to look at you and see how far you have enslaved yourselves. That's all. Because all these dancing like somebody, moving like somebody, trying to talk like somebody, is all part of the second enslavement. If you cannot be strong from within you to ascertain the fact that our culture has class as well, then are you not a slave? You have enslaved yourself to other people's cultures. Because it will happen one day, like a son of my friend. They were at a conference. The Japanese dance, the Chinese, Chinese. Even some Ghanaians there, did Akosombo, and then you as a Nigerian person, a Yoruba boy in particular, you can't remember anything. Not a thing. Now you started calling your father, that daddy, daddy, we are in a cultural, what can I do? What exactly can I do? You see, we have enslaved ourselves and we are nothing anymore.
And so this comes to the heart of what I believe is the problem, that plagues us as a people and as a country. I think is this, we have lost our identity. We don't even know who we are. And clearly it starts from, how do a people not want to know their history? How do a people want to be ashamed of their history? How do a people want to be ashamed of their past? Even both the mistakes, the good, the bad, the ugly. How? And if we cannot take a cue from the past, how do we then project for the future? I struggle with these questions, and I always look forward to conversations like this with you, and those of your generation are way ahead, because these are some of the things I always say to myself, that I wish Daddy lived longer, and maybe I grew up much older before he passed away. Because some of the questions I want to ask you, how did we get here? And some of this is happening now with folklore.
In that area, we have to really sit down. We are creating some, because if you want to fight a monkey, you have to know how to, you have to kill it. You want to catch it, you want to entrap it, you play some,
the banana.
some tricks, and then offer a banana. You see, that area, maybe 2 generations back, maybe 3, maybe from about 40 years ago, everybody thought that, you see, if I don't allow my son to be like that, maybe he will not be able to speak English, will not be able to be like the Oloyinbo. He will not. Since then, we have been throwing all the important aspects of our being, our culture. That is the total description, the total, maker of your presence on earth. We started throwing them off. Anything that sounded like yesterday becomes null and void. Becomes a bushman here. That's a bush attitude. No, you can't do that. No, you can't wear that. Buba, Ashoke, no. Adire, those are, forget Adire, those old school. Old school, until now we are going crazy on the main road. We are wearing crazy jeans. We are wearing torn-up jeans. Jeans where they tear a yash of human being like this. You are forgetting old school. And you are wearing all this crazy. Even if you want to take from the
from any other
culture, we want to take anything from there. Let them keep their craziness with them. But that is the total attitude aspect that we are now taking, hook, line, and sinker. We need a total reorientation. We need a complete reorientation. Because if not, our great-grandchildren, okay, God, come and miss you. Come closer. Before we lose it all. Because, it's not the Oyinbo. You are the one digging to find them, climbing to find them, swimming to find them. That's why I call it the second.
This is voluntary enslavement.
Voluntary enslavement.
So you've graciously autographed this book for me. One of the books forwarded by one of your books, Ancient and Modern Tales, which I know in one of our earlier conversations you had mentioned that Professor Wole Soyinka actually inspired you to put this together, and he also did the forward for the book. I haven't had the time to go through the book, but the first thing I did was to run through the preface, which you wrote, and an aspect of it caught my attention, and I want to read it so that I can ask my next question. It says, I have now perfected the steps. Now, this book is about the ancient and modern tales. It's maybe you tell the audience or our viewers a bit about the book, but let me just read this. It says, I have now perfected the steps to take in teaching this art to children, and the right formula for them to create these artworks from waste papers, magazines, and other colored papers to becoming fine artworks. Now, this is about one aspect of who you are, artwork, and it's littered all over. I mean, those who would stay on with us would watch a feature of us in your museum, your private museum. And now we're already talking about storytelling, and you focus on storytelling for kids because that was also something you learned how important it was in LA. Now, this is also fine art for kids. And the key word I take away from there is, I have learned the art of perfecting this skill, because you're also a part academia, this pedagogy, how I can translate this knowledge onto another. I am bothered. You are 79 years old, sir. Rightfully a septuagenarian that is crossing into the octogenarian. How are we going to ensure that this body of knowledge, this great body of talents that are still very potent and active, even in these later years of yours, do not go with you to be Agba and Ray when that time comes? What are we going to do? How are we going? Because that's my biggest fear as I've walked around and engaged with you.
That's the reason why I have returned home, because I am an owner of very large lands in Ikwara. This is the smallest of all the lands that are mine. Some up to hectares, up to 7 hectares, just at the back of there. In my name, I own it. That, look, take this place, hurry, within the last 3 years I've been working on it. Take this place, quickly set it up, begin workshops.
Now this is Ibudo
Asha. The courtyard or the location for culture.
Asha.
Asha is culture. Yeah. Yes. So Asha, that once you have finished this, that's why this place is big. You can do a lot of workshops here, for 20 people, 30 people, successfully. And the stage is there under construction. The sitting area is there. So that even skeletal practices we have been doing here, that some local boys have been performing on that stage. I'm not going to be the one that will be doing everything. I will call some students, I will call some colleagues of mine from departments of theater or dramatic arts to come here with me so that we impact some areas of all we know how to do into them. Like we are going to be setting up workshops in storytelling. You'll be surprised by the time the third workshop, we are already you're already in the interest of telling stories. Because once we give you the rudiments, like the key into the art, that's all. We are going to be having folk songs competition, folk songs gathering. Even some children today will know some folk songs that have been a folk singer all my life. Just 2-4 phrases, maybe learned from his grandmother or his grandfather. These are the ways you continue.
Yeah.
If that person could not, in that situation, sing a folk song from his land, what's the matter? Why are you calling yourself Yoruba? A Japanese sang something in Japanese language, a Chinese, Indonesia, they come to you and then you say, excuse me, give me some time. You went and called your daddy. Hey, daddy, what Yoruba song can you teach me quickly? So if we keep this place open and a lot of programs begin, dramatic ones, musical ones, all of them going and coming here to enjoy it and then taking something away. That's why I said I should stay here and initiate this. And very soon, we should be on our way for skeletal programs.
So are you working with other organizations like galleries, like mental health foundations? I imagine even it will probably be a lot of foreign foundations that are also even giving grants or supporting the work. But do you have...
Not yet.
Okay.
But now that they see we are already, hosting, at the level at which we can carry, they are laying their interest in working with us. So by the time we start skeletal and we begin to invite people and a lot of people come on their own, then we begin to be able to seek for grants, and which I'm very sure we'll get.
I also even think that a lot of our institutions, our universities, clearly Ibadan, Lead City, all those around should actually...
Agba, all of them.
Yes.
We are going to be collaborating.
Very important.
We are going to be collaborating because by the time we take production from here to Agba, we will ask them to bring production from Agba into here. And, people will begin to, that program, are you doing it here? Yes. From the Department of Creative Arts, Agba. So these are all the things that are laid up for these premises.
For this place, Okay, that's so very fascinating. I think one of the other things I wanted to, just as we are trying to wrap up, I wanted to find out, when we were speaking again earlier, and you mentioned to me, because it was actually a question I was going to ask, that why did this inspiration come just 3 years ago? I know, of course, you've had a very big base in NAA, and a lot of all these works are being transshipped from your base in NAA. But and you mentioned something about the fact that it's never too late to start something. So I want you to, because that's you have a philosophy about age and how and life, and I found that very fascinating.
Yes, because you are growing old does not mean you cannot start anything anew. In my travels, I've met old people, 78, 90, 91, doing great things. Some of them, I met them in Germany, some of them in America, who are doing great things. At their aging point, 79, 80, 81, So they all the time told me that don't be afraid of starting anything at your old. It will even rejuvenate you. Because it's the elder that sleeps curled up with a blanket covering him, and yet if he makes an effort, he can get up and do it. But I'm old. That's when trouble comes. But with me, I am not that old.
You're still a young man, sir. Young man.
I am not that old because there are still a lot of things that I could do. And the masquerade that came here the other time, they are saying, look, you this man, you will be as old as your uncle. You heard him saying it.
Yes.
You will be as old as your daddy. My daddy was 90 something, close to 100.
Wow.
My uncle was 107.
Wow.
My grandma was 125.
Wow.
So
you are really blessed with longevity.
So and how can I say it's impossible for me to whip up this place?
Yes.
How can I say it's impossible? In another year, when you come back here, from now, because we are working right now. If it was yesterday, we'll be hearing quack, 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 quack. I asked them not to come near here today because we want quiet and silence here today. And the Yoruba man says, Binu batiri lo biyan, and you put your mind on it and you face it properly. Hey, it's done.
I like the philosophy you said. You said it's not life, and I want, there's a philosophy about life. You said it's not, you live life, not the other way around. And
I am the one that will live life, not life that will live me. If you live yourself for life to live you, it can do anything it likes with you. But I am the one that is living life. And once you are living life, you are putting it in control to do exactly what you want to do, to be where you want to be, to do exactly what you want to do. Like in a buffet, from here to the gate, food is there. You are the one living life. If you look at it, you might not even touch a green pea and put it in your mouth because you are living life and you don't want anything to do with all that food. But some people whose life is living will eat 10 times. They're the one life is living because life says you must eat. You must eat. You are living life. If you don't want to eat in the midst of all these sumptuous, you don't have to.
That begins to remind me of Paolo. Those were some of his trainings.
You don't have to.
Discipline.
Yes. You don't have to. I might stay 2-3 days I won't do anything more than drinking water. And it's good for you too, because whatever you have ate will find time will work for you. If you eat that much, it will work for you. But if you load that much, it will weaken you. Waiting for space. And you are adding more. Waiting for...
So life is giving you some living life. Wow.
You're welcome to Ibudo Asha. Today, Afolabi and I are just walking around the gallery in Ibudo Asha. Anything that is cultural are to me very fine, very nice, very real, very total. When people ask me at 79, why are you just starting this? I said, yes, that's the best time to start anything you want to start. Do not be afraid of starting a new project at whatever age.
So this is...
Igbe. This is one of the oldest around. We have just been telling everybody that are calling all these kind of things juju, to please send them to us. To us, they are no juju. They are materials of respect.
Please join me on YouTube every Thursday at 6 p.m. West African time for another exciting and engaging episode of the Never an Afterthought show. Greetings, guys. Well, we're back from the short break we just took. If you're just joining us, you are into exciting episode on storytelling with no other person but Baba Agba, Jimi Solanke. If you have missed any part of it, you really want to go catch it up again. But don't forget to join and continue this conversation. Our hashtag is the hashtag Never an Afterthought across all our social media channels. Twitter at NAA_book, Facebook and Instagram at NA Afterthought. And our email is podcast@neveranafterthought.com. And indeed, we can read your comments on the comment section of the platform wherein you're listening or watching me. When you were talking about your days in Ibadan, and I recall when we're talking about this in Ibadan, where the Bari Club, where you met the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, that I like to just say WS, Wole Soyinka, and all the others that you met, this great Eget, the cerebral Eget. There was something you said that each one of them were all performers in their own arts.
Yes.
Either music, acting, scripting. I mean, they were academia of sort, but they were also performers.
Yes.
Now, my point, and I wanted to hear from you is, have we now not come back? Because I knew that's how the schooling was for you. I mean, in your days, even in grammar school, you still had art and craft and things like that. Have we not come back to the days where we really must ensure that with every of our young people, they really pick up something with their creativity? And it doesn't have to be that, I'm in the art and craft, but you just must pick up something. And how, in your view, does that not even add to your cerebrality?
Yes, it does. Please, if you have a child that loves percussion, don't disturb that child. Let it be part of his life, because that talent opens the mind and the intelligence towards other incoming education. Be it sciences, be it math, be it literature, be it anything. As long as a child is talented in any of these creative corridors, do not say, stop. Don't do that. Let that child develop, in ambience, in ambience with whatever you want him or her to study. Because by the time, that talent is growing, it will be affecting the other areas of that we are allowed to imbibe any other area of study. Please. And even if you don't have that opportunity of being a talented person, there are different areas, different open door workshops now that you can walk into and get yourself, because to be creative is very, very good for your mind. To be creative. We are not asking you to come and be a Jimi Solanke. We are not asking you to come and be a Davido or any other person in the arts. But we are asking you to just let your mind be, be open enough to absorb some creative endowments. Then you will see how free you will be at any other thing you are studying.
Sir, let me ask a follow-on question. What's been your experience with kids that imbibe the art of storytelling?
You see, I used to know one young boy. He's now a big boy now, you know. When he talks to me now, he is talking millions. I am this, I'm this and that. Once I am in a story telling session with them in Ijebu-Ode. As soon as I'm through with my story, he will say, Daddy, me too, I have a story to tell. And he will get up and make up one story or the other. Everybody will clap for him. I'm sure he lived his life, you know, gathering. Because once you can sit in front of people and tell stories and hear other people tell it, and you tell it, you are a gatherer. You are gathering. You are gathering information. You are gathering presence. You are gathering, you are killing stage fright. You are building up, you know, how to use your voice, how to modulate your voice, how to make sure that people you are telling the stories, how once you can make them believe you and they believe you, that, you know, storytelling is a two-way affair. It's not a one-way affair. If you don't believe in what you are telling a child as a story, if you don't take it strongly, the child they'll be restless. If you are a storyteller and you cannot hold your theme strong from the beginning to the end, you've lost them from even before you have started telling the story. Which means you must be serious about it. And once you do that and you can keep that as your attitude to anything you are doing, hold everything. That's why I said focus. You are focused on anything you are doing and it will be best for you.
Sure. I don't know. I know you're so what, when the digital age, our viewers are watching us from home, and in your storytelling age, you had your kids in front of you telling them the story. So I'm going to have you look to the camera and just, I'm going to have you look to the camera and just tell our viewers what it is again that you would want to say, parting words, final words, words of wisdom.
I will want that at whatever age you are, put focus on what you like to do most, your job or your profession or your, you know, creative artistry. Put focus on it. And these days, there is no more time for parents to say, you must do this, you must do this. Because even if they want you to go out and work, where are the jobs? So create something for yourself. From nothing you can create a situation for yourself. If only to teach children Yoruba, the little Yoruba that you know, ABDA, FEGB, you know, put a class on it, you know, have modem that you want to use. If it is vocal, if it is there's so teach somebody how to make an address that you learned from your elementary school. Teach somebody how to just put calabash, buy calabash, 4 of them from the market, raw. Design it, put it out. You see somebody will stop by and say, how did you do it? Do you want to sell it? Ordinary basket. One man lived around here. He weaved basket until he died. He had a fantastic burial because they found so much money in one basket under his gorupo. Gorupo is where you sleep in my language here. And there is a gorupo. They found so much money, plenty of money. The man, they thought weaving baskets can never make him a rich man. So create something. There is no end to creativity in this life. If it is empty cardboard, the cardboard for, they waste them, they burn them, cardboard for tiles. They come in massive it creates something from them. I'm just getting that brass tack approach, and there are so many other things that can be that they can call waste, which you can find a creative corner in your mind, turn it into something. Apart from that, find create jobs for yourselves. That is what is making China one of the most positive countries, because the toothpick, pencil, everything, they just glue it together and send it to us. We buy it. We buy them. Don't let us look at our earnings. Don't mind them. Some people are selling in trillions. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't look at them. You be yourself. Find something for yourself to do. Get yourself into a committee, or group. What do you call it now?
Cooperative.
Cooperatives. Yes. Be like-minded. Get yourself into cooperatives. Register it. You talk to yourself on what you can do. If it is arithmetic, you'll be teaching. If it is English, if it is whatever. If you find an area where there are lots of mangoes in your area, you'll find something to do with, because these days mangoes will just drop and waste. Go into the Google, create something for your cooperative, and it will be well with you.
Thank you very much, sir. Daddy, thank you for welcoming us to your home, welcoming us to your studio, welcoming us to Ikpara, and
You're welcome.
and all that we'll still get to enjoy with you during this time out with you. Okay, folks, that's been awesome, and really, there is really no end to creativity in life. And with creativity as well, there is no retirement. It's been an awesome, great time with Baba Agba himself, Jimi Solanke. There's still many more that are still going to come your way through this multi-series. I just want to say thank you again to Daddy, thank you to all of your studio supporters and collaborators that have helped to put this together, and also to our production team, the NAA production team. A big thank you to you guys. Don't forget our hashtag, the Never an Afterthought, by which we extend these conversations beyond just this platform. So please, let's take on these stories, this conversation, this storytelling. You've learned now about storytelling. So very important. In my view, storytelling helps to improve your communication. And once you can get your communication right, then you can literally get your life right. Trust me. Once you get the communication right, you get your life right.
Yes.
So really ensure to take this beyond just this platform, and all our social media channels and your social media channels. For us, Twitter is @NA_book. Facebook and Instagram is @NA Afterthought. I clearly would love to hear from you. If you have any personal questions or thoughts or concerns that you want Baba Agba to respond to, you can send me an email, podcast@neveranafterthought.com. And last but not the least, we've gleaned your comments, and I'm sure in one of our future series on AI and you, I will take my time to digest your comments and also loop you back with some feedback. Still will come your way again, same time, 6 p.m. Thursday, on this same channel. It won't change, the Never an Afterthought. Don't forget to stay safe so you can keep well, and above all, keep winning. God bless you.